Could I use a haircut? Straight looking homeless. Alright, so this week we are talking about the AFC South. And like I've previously said, we're only talking about offensive players that are going to impact fantasy-wise. Let's just jump in. Indianapolis Colts, one of the best drafts. They traded their first-round pick to the 49ers for a defensive lineman. But day two, man, they killed it. And I'm talking about killed it. They got Michael Pittman. He kind of offsets all their other receivers because they have small guys like T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell. Funches was last year, but he didn't play at all. But Michael Pittman, big old body, and I'm talking about big old boy. And I just like everything about Michael Pittman, everything he stands for, everything. I just love Michael Pittman. And to be honest, I'm usually against UFC receivers. But with Juju or my Steelers, made me kind of want to rethink that. But I like Michael Pittman. Did I mention the Colts had the best draft day? Jonathan Taylor, they traded up for him. I really wanted the Steelers to draft him. You guys let me down. But Jonathan Taylor is my favorite running back in the class. Played for Wisconsin. I think he's like the next Zeke. The only downside of him, and I'm talking about just one of them, he lets the ball down a lot. He drops the ball. He has a fumbling issue. But other than that, he's a true down back, and he should become the starter quickly. He has to beat Marlon Mack out, but that shouldn't be any issue. Marlon Mack is good, though. He did win me a fantasy year once. Just once, though. Next after that is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Ooh, actually, I said alphabetical order, and I don't know my alphabets because the Houston Texans are next. They traded their first-round pick away. Day two, they drafted two defensive players that can boost their front seven. So I'm not going to talk much about them, but I will give you one quick stat. Without on the field, Texans beat blockers 45% of the time. When Watt is on the field, it drops to 27%. Their second-round pick, Ross Blacklock, played 50% of his snaps at defensive tackle, which is only going to help J.J. Watt. So look for that to help the defense. It's still a top 15, that 10 to 15 range, I think. That's just me guessing without looking at it. So to B+, I don't want to grade defensive players, but I feel like I had to talk about that just because of J.J. Watt. Day 3, C+, they added Isaiah Coulter, an already speedy cast of receivers. He runs a 4.45 at the combine. Not much there. After that, we're going to jump to Jacksonville. They get an A because they drafted two cornerstone defensive players. Their defense isn't going to be anything until a couple years from now. B+. I love this pick. Lavisk Shelnut Jr. Lavisk, like LASIK surgery. He is the starting receiver outside DJ Shark. So he should be able to draw some double teams away from Shark. The downside is he battled through a lot of injuries and inconsistent quarterback play. But there are a ton of other receivers you should go before you get him. I think he's just a late round flyer in some deeper leagues, but he's somebody that you want to keep an eye on. But I do love the pick if he can play. The next pick, Colin Johnson. We are not related. If anybody wanted to know, we're not. He's 6'6". He's a big boy. Bigger than Michael Pittman. I like Michael Pittman. Only reason I'm talking about him is he's from Texas, and I love the Longhorns. But he's somebody to leave on the wire. This brings us to the last team, the Tennessee Titans. They get a B+. They have a great blocking offensive line. They drafted him. I'm going to talk about him because he impacts fantasy, but he's not going to be a fantasy, somebody that you're going to remember in fantasy. So he's a B-. B+, Darrington Evans is a perfect running partner to Derrick Henry. He is a run-cut back who's just going to hit that hole, and he has a little speed to him, top-end speed. So with Derrick Henry, who's a bruiser, but he can get moved. Once he's getting moved, he's moving. I think Derrick Henry had a 97-yard run last year. I'm not 100% certain, but he's somebody who's going to help Derrick Henry, especially. And if they hadn't cut Deion Lewis, I'm pretty sure he's on his way to being cut. And then day 3 is not even worth mentioning. people that you should remember for this upcoming fantasy season, you do want to remember Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor for sure, just because they're going to be studs this year. They're going to come out the gate like rolling, especially if Taylor gets the ball early and gets that starting position. Marlon Mack is somebody who has battled injuries, so look at Taylor to be that next man up. That being said, this is the end of this week's episode. So check back for next week and let me know what you think. If you disagree with anybody, if you agree with somebody, if I didn't mention them, just leave it in the comments. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.